Perrington. It's dumped by Benami. The leaders are winding up here at Daytona. The big one is out. Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the Pro Street Stock Series, sponsored by Tri-E Coolers. Today, we're switching it up as we're going to find ourselves at the virtual Dirt USA International Speedway for this 75-lap main event. No fast repairs, and for this race, we are actually running a open fuel allotment and as many sets of tires behind the wall as they need. I'm James Eastbury, the Action 1080p 60 frames a second. As let's run it tonight's grid and see who's going to be starting where. Starting on pole, it's Blake Wynn. Jacob Feskinen starting second. Michael Vandermeet starts third. James SoundCloud Silvers fourth in the grid. Sean Friley starting fifth. Jeff Edgar starting sixth. Brett Edgar starting seventh. Tyler the Weapon Evans starting eighth. Timothy Johnson starting ninth. Spencer Breslin starting 10th. We've got Josh Sommer starting 11th. And then Travis Sukup will round out the 12-car grid here today. Let's see what these drivers are going to do, as this is the first and only time they will be on the dirt oval for the Pro Series. It's Wynn and Feskinen on the front row. Wynn in the Taco Bell back number 19 machine. Feskinen in the Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah, 926. He'll be on the high line for this start. 75 laps for these drivers to try and make their way out. And for the most part, these aren't necessarily dirt racers coming out here today. None of the teams brought in ringers or dirt pros for this round. These are our regular asphalt racers coming out and willing to stretch out and try something different. So it's going to be an exciting one for us to see as we follow the iRacing pacing truck around once more. This is the final time drivers are able to spot the course and maybe look for a fast line. Now in qualifying, we did tilt the track back up, but I think by the end of this race, 75 laps with 12 cars beating and banging, that course is going to be well and worn in by the time it is all said and done. Let's see what's going to happen. Pace truck comes in this time by the fans in attendance, ready to see what's going to happen. A lot of drivers here aiming just to survive tonight's main event, knowing they're not necessarily dirt pros and have had good luck on the asphalt, but the pace truck comes in. We're going to wait for the green flag here at USA International, and there we go. Blake Wynn, Jacob Feskinen right off the rip, getting ready to send it further back in the pack. Tyler Evans picks up a spot from Brett Edgar as they go sliding around here. Every driver trying to find the groove they're going to be happiest in. As, oh boy, there we go already. Timothy Johnson, Tyler Evans into each other. As Johnson finds himself facing the wrong way, I believe that'll be an early caution here tonight. As the number 11 gets himself sorted, yes, the field checks up. And that will be our very first caution of the night. A racing incident between, I believe that was Johnson and Evans, both getting into each other. Now, unlike a lot of the regular scheduled dirt races, yellow flag laps do count here tonight as the field's going to get graded back up behind our safety truck. And we'll get ready for our first restart of the evening. As Feskinen has a big blink in that 926 machine. Hopefully he gets that under control. As we take the wide-angle shot here, Blake Wynn will still be starting up front. Feskin will be joining him on the front row. Vandermeet and Silver's two teammates starting on the second row. Friley and Edgar the third row. Good to see all the teams out here tonight. We've got Cornerstone, we've got Fastlane, and I believe we've got Hayward Motorsports fielding some cars as well as the East Action Sports team fielding the number 53 of Spencer Breslin. So we'll get ready to grid them back up here. Going to be interesting to see what the track conditions do over today's main event as well. As I'd imagine with these 12 competitors putting down the power, we're going to really slick off this track by the time it is all said and done. Expecting the pace truck to make its way in. Yes, we do. Now the initial start is on green. After that, it's on the leaders as Blake Wynn gets the party started up front, that number 19 machine. Feskin's going to go high while Wynn goes low. And these guys are absolutely sending it early on. Now again, not a lot of dirt experience amongst the field here today, so everybody's coming out and just doing whatever they can to salvage some points. We are running one dirt round tonight at USA International, and then later on we'll be running one road course at Watkins Glen. Still holding on to it up front, but he's got company from both Silvers and Feskin in behind as the field is sliding around here at USA International. Wynn still holding on to the race lead, but now he's got the 926 of Feskin going the inside line as they slide through turns 1 and 2 here at USA. Feskin gets the drive, hits him with the slide job. Wynn settles for second, and right behind him you've got Vandermeet and Silvers side by side, all trying to get up into podium contention. Wynn still on the high line, Feskin down low. Now Feskin will hold on to the race lead as the field stacks up behind him. There goes, I believe that was John Friley, sending it around the high side. Now throughout the duration of today's main event, you'll see drivers looking for the most amount of grip possible. So they'll go low, they'll go high, and they'll try to stay off the slick parts of the raceway. If you've never watched a dirt race before, they'll actually start laying rubber down. And it'll be very interesting as you go on board with Blake Wynn and the number 19 machine trying to catch up in the back of the 926 of Feskinen. Both drivers running well here, but it looks like Vandermeet, number 84 machine, may take a peek in the inside line. As no, he's going to follow Wynn through here as you're on board the right side of Wynn. Everybody doing a good job so far. Vandermeet peeking up the inside of Wynn. Feskinen getting a little bit of a gap here. We're going to go side by side. Wynn holds on to it, able to carry the momentum on the high line. But that battle for second is getting all sorts of exciting very, very quickly. Wynn, Vandermeet, and now Silvers as we go 3 wide at USA International. Not a lot of real estate here at the 3/4 mile raceway. Vandermeet still fighting hard to try and get his way up into second. He goes down low, Wynn goes high. Doesn't look like he's going to get clear for the slide. And we're going to go side by side once more. Silver's number 17 machine looking for an opening. Who's going to have the drive here as Vandermeet still working the bottom, Wynn on the high side. Vandermeet not quite able to drift up on the raceway just yet. They're going to flick it side by side once more through 1 and 2. Wynn way up on the wall, Vandermeet right in the slick. And still almost evenly paced. Both drivers running 27 flats their last time by. And just tandem drifting these street stock machines all the way around. And still side by side. Lap after lap, Vandermeed and Wynn putting on a show. Looks like Vandermeed may get clear here. But no, Wynn answers again, getting that bumper up to about the halfway mark of Vandermeed's car. Silver's going to follow Vandermeed and try and get in there as well and make it a 3-car show in the battle for second. This is an exciting start. Oh, Vandermeed gets a little bit loose there in the slick. This may be allowing Wynn to capitalize and get back up there as he's got Silver's right on his back bumper. Feskinen leading with about a 1.3 second gap. Vandermeed gets a little bit loose once more. And we again go 3 wide. We're only 15 laps into this feature event. These guys are letting it all hang out. Look at that. Here comes Silver's on the inside line as John Friley joins the fray. Friley in the blue and white 06 machine. Silver's in the red and white 17. Vandermeed in the PBR back number 84 machine. So now Friley's going to try and work the high groove against Silver's. But tagging that outside wall is going to slow down his momentum here at the start and finish line stretch. Wynn finally has a chance to breathe as Vandermeed's not been side by side for the last several laps like we saw in the opening moments. Silver's almost taps Riley, backs out of it to save both their cars. As we're going to settle in a little bit here. Feskinen out front, Wynn running second, Vandermeed third, Friley fourth. And Silver's rounding out our top 5. As the field's still a little bit stretched out, everybody playing it relatively safe. It's a long race tonight, 75 laps. As now Vandermeed's going to try and put the pressure on Wynn once more in the battle for second. Each driver running pretty different lines at this point, as you can really start to see that middle groove form up, the slicks by the middle of the track with the driver starting to lay down some rubber. As the battle for second about to get heated, Wynn, Vandermeed, Friley, Silver still all in the mix here. 21 laps in. Feskinen has stretched his legs to about a 1.5 seconds over this battle for second. Now some of the drivers set up differently. Some of the guys set up for slick condition. I'd argue probably most of the guys set up for a slick condition here tonight, while some drivers were looking more for that loose dirt to play in, where it's a little bit more tacky. And I think you're going to see some of the guys get faster as the run progresses. Right now, it looks like it's Feskinen with the fastest lap of the race, a 26.77. He did a 27.1 his last time by. But we'll keep an eye on that as the track starts to form up and change. You'll see some different lines. As I say that, Silver's working the bottom groove. Ooh, Friley hard to the outside wall, holds on to it. Vandermeed about 6/10 off the back bumper of the 19 machine. Blake Wynn, again, that Taco Bell street stock. And Feskinen has a bobble out front, tagging the wall at the 926. He's going to lose several tenths. I want to say almost 3 tenths on that lap. As Wynn is either finding the pace or the setup's coming to grips with the track here. As now, for the first time in a while, Wynn getting close to about a second off the back bumper of your race leader. But he will have his hands full with Michael Vandermeed, that number 84 machine. Veskinen stretching his leg once more, gaining another couple tenths on Wynn. Wynn has his hands tied with the Cornerstone Motorsports driver of Vandermeed. As we check a little bit further back, Timothy Johnson, he's battling with Josh Sommers. Sommers gets all sorts of unsettled, drills the inside wall, and that's got to bring out our second caution, as Josh Sommers and Timothy Johnson both have big problems. Sommers just got loose. Johnson with nowhere to go gets into him, and yes, there comes our safety truck flying around, so that will be the second caution of the night here. So we will re-rack the field. Looks like everybody's going to stay on the lead lap here. This will be the second caution of the night. Fairly late, we had that lap 1 caution, and things have been pretty well sorted, but now we're going to get the field stacked up, and things are going to get all sorts of exciting, I would guess. So we're going to get the field racked back up and ready to battle once more. It'll be Feskin and Wynn on the front row. Vandermeed Silver's your second row. Friley and Edgar your third row. As everybody's still out on track, rolling in a forward direction. Pace car coming in this time by. And they're going to send it early on. Blake Wynn gets squeezed up in the wall by Vandermeed, rolls wide. Wall rides as the field stacks up. Everybody bumping into each other here. Oh my goodness. That was Jeff Edgar getting squeezed in that as well. Somehow the caution doesn't come out. That's going to allow Feskin to work his way away from the pack. With about a second and a half advantage over Brett Edgar running second. Edgar, the younger Edgar and Silver's going side by side. Edgar takes the position, moves up to second. Silver slotted in third. Vandermeed fourth. Wynn rounding out our top 5, not quite at the halfway mark. As it looks like Silvers and Brett Edgar get into each other slightly. Blake Wynn sets the fastest lap of the race, though, with a 26.67. And the young driver looking for blood here. Oh, Silvers and Wynn get into it. So poor Wynn once again finds himself tagged in the wall. Veskinen still out front. Brett Edgar leading the charge for second. And now Vandermeer looking at the inside line of Brett Edgar trying to make something happen. Oh, here we go. They're out for carnage once more. Silvers gets in the wall. His teammate Vandermeer hits him. Then Blake Wynn comes in and tags some body work as well. Tempers starting to get heated here at USA International. As we're watching the heated battle for fourth, Vandermeer and Wynn getting into it. Wynn and Edgar have a little bit of contact. That's going to allow Silvers to skate through and take over second place. Brett Edgar currently third, but no, it's going to be Vandermeer making a spot in the number 84 machine. This, meanwhile, is allowing Veskinen to clean out and keep things going forward. As here we go for the battle for, it's going to be third. Wynn trying to track down Vandermeer. Vandermeer following his teammate Silvers in the number 17 machine. Everybody trying to find some ground here in the back half of the race as we are past the halfway mark. And everybody bumping and grinding. Vandermeer makes contact with Silvers. Wynn makes contact with Vandermeer as well. And they go side by side in the battle for third. Wynn runs them all the way up to the wall, and Vandermeer gets absolutely yeeted, and he gets on his roof here. So Vandermeer in the PBR back number 84 machine gets cleaned out as the field makes their way around him. And a little bit of insult to energy as the field gives him a tail tap. Travis Sukup, the number 45 machine, checks up to avoid getting into Vandermeer. What an exciting halfway mark. So now it's going to be Veskinen, Silvers, Wynn showing the top three. And then the Edgar family running fourth and fifth with Brett Edgar and Jeff Edgar. But we get an update. Looks like Wynn is going to get the EOL for that malicious takeout of Vandermeer. So we'll get them racked back up. And try it again. Veskinen and Silvers on the front row. Edgar and Edgar on the second row. I don't get the pleasure of saying that often. Really cool to see the whole family out here racing hard and enjoying sim racing together. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. So you've got the cornerstone drivers in the front row, fast lane on our second row, all out here trying to get some team points. And away we go once more with Veskinen and Silvers running out front. Feskinen tagging the outside line, and look at this. Here comes Brett Edgar on the inside line, makes contact with Silvers. Riley gets into, I believe that was Jeff Edgar. Yes, it was, in the all-black number 7. Rubbin is racing, especially when you're on a dirt track. Evans gives a little bit of a love tap to Jeff Edgar as well. Now we're watching the battle for second. Brett Edgar holding on to it in that 116 machine as Silver's trying to work his way up. Ooh, that may not be the fastest way around as Brett has plowed the outside wall. Bounces back into the track and just tags Silver slightly. Nothing malicious, but well done saving it after that hard contact with the outside wall from Brett Edgar. And that's going to allow Silvers to take over second place. And Tyler Evans trying to work the inside line. What paint scheme is that? Let's try and get a closer view here. That is a Barbie back number 77 machine. And Brett Edgar and James Silvers have contact, both causing an incident. On lap 44. I'm guessing the yellow lights are on here at USA International. That was Silvers, the number 17 machine. I believe Brett Edgar involved in that one in the 116. As we're getting reports from race control, the 116 and Brett Edgar will receive the EOL for that incident. And that will be our third caution of the night. Vandermeer is going to get back out on track after getting his machine repaired from that lap 37 incident. He will be about 7-8 laps down at this point, but wants to come back out, get some more practice laps, and salvage an evening. Good to see the racers keeping it going no matter what's going on. We're going to get the field line back up, double file. Pace truck is in. Here we go. Feskinen on the front row, accompanied by Tyler Evans. Jeff Edgar's in the inside line, the number 7 machine. He's going to try and make some early spots here. But there are not a lot of drivers leaving with clean bodywork, and looks like there was more contact as the field stacks up massively. We're 3 wide, 2 rows deep. Edgar and Silvers, no, Evans battling hard. Timothy Johnson, number 11 machine, joined the fray. We're 3 wide once more. More contact, I believe, between Blake Wynn and Johnson. Feskinen still out front with about a half-second gap over Tyler Evans and Jeff Edgar, who are trying to hold on to it here. But just great racing all the way around. more often, this is an exciting show for everybody at home. So again, it's Feskin and Evans, Jeff Edgar, James Silvers, and Blake Wynn rounding out the top 5. As everybody's beating and banging on each other in the walls. I don't think there's going to be many clean race cars leaving tonight at USA International. Silvers goes for the slide job, doesn't hit his mark. As Jeff Edgar holding on strong to third, but he's got Blake Wynn looking up the inside line, as well as SoundCloud Silvers. Wynn trying to use that slick part of the raceway, but just not able to carry the momentum. But he has gained a position over, I believe that's Silvers, or at least held on to it. Jeff Edgar looking for traction on the inside line. And he will lose the position to the young driver, Blake Wynn. Laps left to go here, ladies and gentlemen. As Evans, the number 77 machine, he's got a lot of company. Blake Wynn has worked his way back up towards the front despite being EOL in the very early lap 37 incident. Oh no, Evans tags the outside wall. That may hurt his run. But Wynn's down on the slick. It's going to be tough to get the momentum out of the Taco Bell car to pass the Barbie back number 77. Both drivers running up high, looking for any bit of traction they can find, but also trying to keep it off that wall. And all sorts of bumping and grinding there going on there. I'm not sure if Wynn and Evans got into each other or what may have happened, but Blake Wynn works his way up into second ahead of Evans and Silver's two teammates. Working in tandem. Teammates Silvers and Evans have a touch. And John Friley's going to find himself pointing the wrong way in the 06 machine. Curious to see what happened there to Friley. Not sure if that was a self-spin or what may have happened there out of the 06, John Friley. But it looks like the machine's relatively straight and running well. And we will stack it back up behind the pace car. Riley at the back here. I'm wondering if that was a self-spin. So now it's going to be Wynn and Feskin on the front row, Evans and Silvers your second row, and the Edgar family running the third row. So it's going to be about 17 laps left to go on this restart. Pace truck is in. And away we go. As man, oh man, look how slick the track is. Wynn gives a tail tap to Feskin and letting him know he's there. Everybody doing good so far, working their way up through the field. As towards the back, it's a bit of a mad dash. Jeff Edgar running fourth. He's got a lot of company behind him with Tyler Evans, Brett Edgar, Timothy Johnson, Josh Sommers, Friley, Breslin. The gang's all here. And what a parking lot it is going to be as everybody goes careening across the track and Evans just able to skate through there. On our lap 60 crash. Ooh, tempers are getting heated up here at USA International. And look how slick the track is. All that shiny black stuff on the surface, ladies and gentlemen, is rubber that these guys have laid down after packing in the surface and pushing the soft dirt out of the way. As Edgar using this opportunity to, Brett Edgar I should say, to maybe see where the traction may be before catching up to the field. And we will try it once more. $14 laps left to go. Not a lot of time for these drivers to make any moves. So as we get the field stacked up, Feskin and Wynn once again on the front row. Silvers and Sommers your second row. Jeff Edgar and Johnson your third row. Not a lot of time left for these drivers to make something happen. Here we go. The green flag flies. Silver's looking to the inside line as Feskinen and Wynn run the high line. Both Feskinen and Wynn tagging that outside wall, slowing their momentum. Josh Sommers running in. He's going to have to Johnson running the inside groove. 12 laps left to go. Feskinen and Wynn running out front, nose to tail. Oh, Feskinen hard on the outside wall. He's glued to the wall. That's going to allow Wynn to take over the lead here. Silver's running third. Things are rapidly changing, and now here comes Silver's trying to work the outside line against his team owner Feskinen. 10 laps left to go. Jeff Edgar makes a spot, moving, no, he's dropping back down to, oh, what's going on there? Josh Sommers almost lost it in the slick. As now Jeff Edgar and Timothy Johnson going side by side. Edgar's gonna look to the inside line of Sommers to try and pick up a spot. Slides back up into the grip, but tags the wall. And we're gonna go 3 wide once more. Oh, they are bumping and grinding out here today. Everybody leaving some racing stripes at USA, using up all the track. Is the track fairly blown out by this point? Not a lot of grip left for these drivers to try and find to squeeze off personal best lap times, as the pace has rapidly dropped as well. Most drivers are about a second slower than they were from the beginning of this race when the track was still relatively full of grip. Edgar slides up ahead of Josh Sommers to take over the 5th place spot. Oh, and aggressively slides into Brett Edgar, sending them both pirouetting around as the field does their best to try and get through there. But man, the crashes just keep coming tonight, and that will bring out yet another caution on lap 68. As race control let us know, that will be assigned to Josh Sommers, the number 16 driver. So we're going to get ready for the final shootout of the night. It's going to be Blake Wynn on the front row, Feskinen starting second. Silvers and Jeff Edgar, your second row. Spencer Breslin and Brett Edgar will make up the third row. So it looks like it's going to be a final shootout here at USA International to see who's going to win our one and only dirt race of the season, at least. Last season we went to Bristol. We're going to wait for the iRacing pace truck to make their way in. And we're going to get ready for what's going to be a final shootout, 3 to go. Feskinen's going to settle in for second. Silvers dives down the inside line to try and pick up another spot against his teammate. Looks like he does so, as that is Brett Edgar and Feskinen making a little bit of contact. And now Feskinen's going to try and return the favor to his teammate and put Silvers in the wall. Oh, and then puts himself in the wall. Instant karma for Feskinen, as now it's Wynn, Feskinen, Silvers, Brett Edgar and Jeff Edgar running out the top 5. I think the track may be about done as drivers can't keep it off the wall. 2 laps left to go here. It looks like Blake Wynn, despite that early EOL, Feskinen finding some massive time here, but Blake Wynn looking like he may get his first Pro Series win. And yes, it'll be Blake Wynn in the Taco Bell back number 19 machine with Fastlane Motorsports bringing home the win. Jacob Best coming in second, and James SoundCloud Silvers will bring home a third in what may be one of the wildest races we've had all season long. But a great race here tonight, and again, it's Wynn, Feskin, and Silvers rounding out our top three at USA International. We'd like to once again thank our sponsor, Tri-E Cooler Crew, for coming on board this season, and on behalf of TeamGoonSquad.com, as well as the entire family here at the Pro Street Stock Series, thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will see you same time, same place next week. Have a great night, everyone.